So when I was about 13, I was diagnosed with eczema. And immediately the doctors tried to put me on certain types of steroids that I would just put on the places where I was affected in order for it to be treated. But in reality, what I learned was that that did a lot of damage to my body. What you have to understand about eczema is that your skin is just hypersensitive to things in the environment. In my case, I did get testing done to see what I was allergic to, and basically they told me, yeah, you're allergic to everything with preservatives. And I was like, okay, what doesn't have preservatives? And they couldn't answer me that. Everything nowadays has preservatives. So I felt like I was screwed. But I knew something was off because you aren't supposed to have eczema. This is a reaction from these preservatives, and your body and other people that don't have it obviously can handle the same thing. So I was questioning, why wasn't my body able to do this, the same thing everyone else's was? And it came down to certain things. So first, I have stopped using steroids completely in order to stop the eczema, because while it did help the eczema, I did feel like, and I have no proof to back this up, but I was getting sick in other ways because the steroids were weakening my immune system. My skin became reliant on it. If I ever stopped using it, my eczema would get worse. The worst I had really was right here on my eyelids. Luckily, I don't have it right now, but if I was to become unhealthy again and get into a lot of preservative stuff, using it on my body, like I'll talk about in a bit, then the eczema would definitely come back. So I gave up steroids, and I was like, okay, something natural needs to be done because everyone else can live naturally and not have eczema. So my natural state should not have it, right? So one, avoid preservatives altogether, right? I use different shampoo and different body wash. I can't use the cheap shampoo or body wash that you buy at the store because if you read the chemicals on the back, there's just a ton of artificial stuff. You don't know what's in it. It's definitely a lot of preservatives in order to cut down on price, not using natural things, right? So I've tried every sort of natural body wash, natural shampoo, and what it came down to was using very, very light amounts of organic body wash and shampoo. My favorite to use is definitely anything coconut oil based, coconut based, and you just read the ingredients on the back and make sure that there's as little artificial chemicals and words you don't know that are on the back of it. As long as it's as minimal amount of ingredients as possible, it's definitely going to help. And when you're showering, you want to just use as little as possible. Like, you need to be clean and you want to feel clean, but you don't need to overdo it at all. The more you use, the more it's going to potentially affect your skin. So trust your body, trust yourself, and just go with what is minimally required, okay? Another thing is, I love super hot showers where it almost burns my skin off, but that is affecting my skin. So I have to take warm showers, not extremely hot, and it definitely helps. This same thing applies with food. What I've been finding out recently is that food that's completely covered in, let's say, red 40 or any sort of artificial chemicals like that, it may not affect it as much or as much as you'd hope it would change whenever you do stop using it. It still definitely affects your skin and your skin health. Think about this. If you know anyone that's extremely allergic to red 40, what happens? They usually break out in hives, they get rashes, stuff like that. If it's gonna affect their skin, why would it not affect your skin? The reaction we all have, even normal people that don't have eczema, is on a spectrum. And we are just on the side of the spectrum that has a lot of symptoms and physical problems. But for everyone else, the same sort of thing is happening in their body. Our skin is just going across that threshold where it reacts, right? So you're not different. You're just showing more consequences of the same thing that everyone's having to do. And this goes on to my next point. Something that helped as soon as I tried to go natural with this was definitely supplements. The number one thing is a daily supplement. If you're not getting your basic nutrition down, your skin is gonna react first out of everything in your body. You're gonna get more dry skin, you're gonna get more eczema, you're gonna have all of these different symptoms, and plus you just need it for your body. You should almost see it as lucky that you're seeing eczema, because now you know you're definitely nutrient deficient in something. So definitely start taking any sort of vitamin, definitely a daily vitamin, men's daily, women's daily. But also look into vitamins itself. A lot of people say magnesium helps, zinc, and just start looking into supplements that can help it. I would just say a borderline daily supplement will definitely be that number one thing that will help. Like I said, this isn't a cure, but this is definitely going to stop it from coming back if you get rid of it, or at least slow down how bad it can flare up if you do have it. I know that if I don't take any supplement, I would say within a week or 2 weeks, I would start noticing eczema coming back. Okay, so here are things that are gonna reverse the eczema. Number one, I would say beef tallow moisturizer. I have one right here. I'm not gonna show you the name brand because this isn't an advertisement, but it's beef tallow balm. It's filtered so it doesn't smell like beef tallow. This one has eucalyptus in it. It makes it smell really nice. It just feels like moisturizer, but I don't believe it is moisturizer. It's just a layer to cover the skin and protect it from the pollutive air elements and the preservatives that are definitely affecting us from anything that we're getting on our skin. You have to remember that we're not breathing natural clean air anymore. We're living in a civilized world where there's pollutants all around us affecting us constantly. So it's just something we have to deal with society. Okay, we're members of society now, even if we don't want to be. Pollutions and pollutants are everywhere, whether we like it or not. I know that where I live, the air quality, they say it's normal, but for someone that suffers with eczema, normal doesn't cut it. I need extremely good, okay? And I can't move right now, so I just have to deal with it by doing stuff like that. Now, one thing I would avoid completely is using moisturizers. If you're using moisturizers, your skin's gonna become reliant on them, and it is going to become extremely hard to not have flare-ups after you stop using them, or if you stop using them. If you're completely okay with using something every single day, every night, every time you shower or get dirty, you have to reapply it, then by all means go ahead and do it. But I'm just telling you, as soon as you stop, your skin's gonna dry out and you're gonna become extremely flared up with the same problem that we're all having. So I would just avoid it. You want to almost train your skin to resist and fight eczema. You don't want it to be there in the first place, right? That's why you're watching the video. And I would just say, when you're doing anything, try to think, you know what, my ancestors 100, 200 years ago, they definitely did not have eczema, and because it would be detrimental to their survival. Animals in the wild don't have eczema on as high of cases as we do as humans now. So obviously something's off. I've heard, playing in dirt, getting dirty, going outside, doing all that really helps. Vitamin D is another supplement you should take, getting as much sunlight as possible. You want your skin to be strong. You want your skin to be natural, exuberant. You want it to be ready for anything that has to take on. So if you build up your skin this way, you'll definitely stop having problems. If you're younger than 18, you can definitely grow out of eczema if you take care of your body and you make sure that you're growing up healthy. Like, I know that when I was younger, I had eczema a lot worse than what I can manage now. Now, like I said, it comes out if I'm not taking care of myself through supplements, through getting my nutrition, and it comes out if I'm not getting enough sunlight, if I'm around pollutants for too long. If you work in an environment where the air quality is extremely horrible, you might have to get another job, just saying, because not only is that affecting your skin, it's gonna affect your health for the long run. So take care of the problem while you still can. Get out of that situation. If you're in a house that is extremely old, has probably chemicals all over the air, stuff like that, get an air filter. Get the cheapest one, get anything you can in order to avoid or at least eliminate, part of the problem. Usually it is a bell curve of how much the problem is, and if you do something, you're gonna get closer to that middle alignment and take out a large majority of the problem. Maybe not all of it, but a large majority, and trying is better than not doing anything at all. And yeah, I mean, if you're still experiencing like all of this eczema, you're definitely not alone. So many of us experience this stuff. And if you experience it and you have your own solutions in the comments, let us know. But the one thing I will say, like I said before, don't be doing stuff that makes you more reliant on it. Make sure that you're growing into a healthy obstacle for eczema to come. And make sure you're still taking care of yourself in ways that are going to help you outside of eczema. If something's good for your health, it's definitely going to be good for taking care of eczema. Just remember to keep that in mind too.